Yemen's Houthi rebels seized an Israeli-linked cargo ship in the Red Sea and took 24 crew members hostage, raising fears of escalation in Israel's war on Gaza. 31 prematurely born babies have been evacuated from al-Shifa hospital and taken to the European and Nasser hospitals in the south. A deal on captives has not yet been reached between Israel and Hamas after the Washington Post reported a U.S. brokered deal is close. At least 13,000 people have been killed in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7. In Israel, the official death toll in Hamas's attacks stands at about 1,200. The Israeli attack on the Al-Faqura school was the most grave attack that there's been. Maleha Malik, the executive director of Protect Education in Insecurity and Conflict, PEIC, has told Al Jazeera. Malik described the attack on the school, which was being used as shelter, as a flagrant breach of international humanitarian law and called for an independent commission to establish the truth of what's going on and establish accountability. Monir El-Boursh, the Gaza Health Ministry director, dismissed an Israeli statement on a tunnel allegedly found at al-Shifa hospital as a pure lie. Israel's military claimed it found a 55-meter-long, 180 feet, tunnel under al-Shifa hospital, the latest in a series of such allegations. 31 newborns evacuated from al-Shifa to Tal al-Sultan Hospital in Rafah will be taken to Egypt on Monday. Israeli Intelligence Minister Hila Gamliel says the international community should support voluntary resettlement of Palestinians from Gaza, instead of contributing money to rebuilding the besieged enclave. Osama Hamdan, the Beirut-based Hamas representative, accused Israel of carrying out atrocities with the aim of accelerating Palestinian displacement.
The Israeli army is trying to prove that Hamas is using al-Shifa and the area underneath it as a military headquarters. They showed an opening in the ground and descended a camera 10 meters down to reveal a tunnel that they claim is 50 meters long. The tunnel ends with a protective barrier door that has a firing hole inside. Hamas denies the Israeli army's claims and calls them misleading and false. Israel released a CCTV video showing 2 captives being brought to al-Shifa hospital on October 7. The occupation statements aim to cover up its security and military failures, according to Hamas. Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari stated that Hamas attackers brought foreign workers into the medical facility. Gideon Levy, a columnist at Haaretz, criticized the security failure as an unprecedented fiasco. Haaretz.com reported that an Israeli military helicopter responding to the Hamas attack may have shot civilians. There are many questions and mysteries surrounding the events, and a serious investigation is needed.
Thousands of people in Lahore demonstrate in support of Palestinians, opposing Israel and the U.S. Senator Siraj ul-Haq calls for Muslim leaders to rise up against the aggressor. Monir El-Boursh dismisses Israeli claims of a tunnel at al-Shifa hospital as a pure lie. Al-Shifa hospital evacuates patients and staff as Israeli troops search for hidden Hamas facilities. Human Rights Watch demands investigation of Israel's attacks on medical facilities in Gaza as war crimes. Qatar mediates between Hamas and Israel, working towards a hostage deal. White House official John Feiner expresses optimism about progress in the negotiations.
Hamas has responded to Israel's claim of using al-Shifa hospital to detain prisoners, calling it misleading and false. Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari stated that Hamas attackers brought 2 foreign workers to the hospital, but their identities were not disclosed. Gideon Levy, a columnist at Haaretz, criticized the security failure on October 7 as an unprecedented fiasco. Haaretz.com reported that an Israeli military helicopter responding to the Hamas attack may have shot civilians at a music festival. Levy believes a serious investigation is necessary due to numerous unanswered questions and mysteries surrounding the army and police's behavior. Benjamin Netanyahu has not taken any accountability for the security failure, and public opinion is expected to demand a serious investigation after the war. Since Israel launched its attacks on October 7, at least 13,000 Palestinians have been killed and 30,000 wounded in Gaza. Among the casualties, 5,500 are children and 3,500 are women, according to Gaza's government media office. Israel claims that about 1,200 people died in the Hamas attack on October 7. Gaza's health ministry, the only official source for Gaza casualties, has been consistent in its counts according to UN scrutiny and independent investigations.
Updates on Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, al-Shifa hospital's refugees, raids in the occupied West Bank and rumors of a deal for Israeli captives. The Houthi seizure of the vessel Galaxy Leader in the Red Sea is a flagrant violation of international law. We demand the immediate release of the ship and its crew. We will consult with our UN partners for the appropriate next steps. The US has beefed up its presence since the start of the war in the seas of the Middle East. They sent 2 aircraft carriers with accompanying warships, in their words, to assist with the defense of Israel. But they obviously haven't been able to prevent this happening in this case. Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, also Qatar's foreign minister, will begin the Europe trip on Tuesday. Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said the diplomatic mission is part of official visits by a number of brotherly foreign ministers to some of the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council to push for an immediate ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Sheikh Mohammed's trip also includes Jordan, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey, Indonesia, Nigeria, the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. This step comes on behalf of all member states of the Arab League and the OIC to push for a real and serious political process to achieve a comprehensive and permanent peace, Al-Ansari said. Palestinians suffer daily horrors while the US stands by its ally Israel, as do the UK and European Union. As Israel steps up its bombardment of Gaza, military and political support from the US remains steadfast. But could this war, which has caused such a humanitarian catastrophe, lead to wider regional instability?